you trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is nodemarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
Oof. Nailed it. Got them all done. All right. Brandon's not with us. Brandon's wrestling with the burrito. So he's going to be in the airplane lavatory all day. No, I think he's just traveling. So yeah. There we go. Let's see. Almost there. Almost. Hold on. Boom. 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 All right. Yeah, we'll do a Christmas one. We're gonna do like one each kind of cool season. I mean, January, there's no season in January, so maybe we'll do one that's like a Bitcoin ETF one, but then that would age bad if they don't pass the ETF off. Ugh. All right, we nailed it. Okay, cool. So there's a few of us here. So Brandon won't be here. We're gonna treat this more as an kind of like we would do office hours, where we're going to have like a whole teaching component to it. And we're going to talk about tyranny of choice, but we will do that behind the wall so that as we do that, if it becomes where there's market related or price related questions, we can go ahead and answer those, and like portfolio balance and all that kind of stuff. So we will cater to our digital investor and digital private client crowd. But first we have AI news. There's not really any specific housekeeping. You guys understand the turkey deal. We'll just call it the turkey deal. Anybody's getting NFTs, if you get 2 or more in even numbers, we're going to give you hypercycle licenses to go along with that. Period, full stop. For private clients, they will be able to, as we move forward, they can actually trade NFTs for equity, meaning they would actually be owners in Node Market, in the equity side of Node Market. But that's only for accredited investors, and that's digital private clients. For the rest of you, you still get to, you would still basically own a call on the rev share. So basically, each month between 20 and 30%, unless we do some kind of bonusy stuff like we did this month where everybody gets more. So for the people that had the token by November 5th, their rev share is 50%. So 50% of whatever the exchange made. And by the way, and in the future, the exchange will be paying for its own development costs. But right now, Brandon and I just pay for that out of our pocket. So we're not deducting nothing. The revenue is just the revenue. We're not deducting anything from that as far as like development teams and all that, of which there are three. We have three separate development teams working on different aspects of the plumbing of the tools that are coming to Node Market. So there you go. All right. Oh, that's true. The Fed de Tres Reyes, the three kings. I guess we could do that. That'd be a tricky one, but I guess we could. Maybe it'd be good to get people to think outside the US box. I love burritos too. You know, they say that Jesus lives inside of us. If so, I hope he likes burritos because that's what he's getting, and enchiladas. All right. Aside from HyperBG and Cryptopia, are there any other groups participating in hypercycle computing? Well, there's going to be a bunch of groups. I just don't know if they'll be public facing. And Cryptopia is not specifically public facing. I think you have to be in their little thing, their like group, which is fine. HyperPG and Hyperpools are public facing, meaning anybody can participate. So that's where I would start. That's kind of where my head's at. Let's see. Brandon, yes. Okay. In Node Market, can you place an open order to buy? Well, we're actually working on that, James. There's two things that we're doing. Well, there's a bunch of things we're doing that have to do with node licenses, and that's not specifically about the exchange. On the exchange side, we're doing the whole buy side, but the way that that's working is that it's not simply putting USDT, USDC, and Ethereum pairs, even though it seems like it would be. We're having to do a lot of plumbing because we want to go to a gasless transactions until finality, meaning to put an order, to list an order or cancel an order, it would cost nothing. You don't have to pay any Ethereum fees. There would just be one transaction fee when the transaction closes. Does that make sense? So that's going to save everybody a bunch of just Ethereum, you know, like $2, $3, $6 here and there. It's not much, but you know, it would add up, right? So we don't want people just lighting their Ethereum on fire. Ethereum's good enough at making you light Ethereum on fire already. So we're building that whole we're building the whole plumbing to be gasless transaction creation and only one fee one time when the transaction is final, meaning when someone bought or sold. We're building out purchase side books where you could say, I'm going to essentially a buy order, James, would be like if you wanted to buy in the traditional sense in an OTC is a little different, but if you wanted to buy hypercycle tokens with USDC, you would be selling USDC and taking hypercycle tokens as payment. Does that make sense? So it's a sell order. So we'll be creating all of that and have tutorials and all that kind of stuff. So that's being plumbed as we speak, and they're testing various aspects of that. And then we'll actually have what's called instead of an order book, an ordered book. And on top, like in hypercycle, you'll see a bunch of sell orders. I'm selling hypercycle at these prices. And there will be an ordered book for USDC, USDT, Ethereum. And then on the bottom in green, you would see a bunch of buy orders, which are actually selling USDT, USDC, or selling Ethereum for hypercycle tokens. And then this will be for all of the token pairs. So it will look like a traditional exchange, but it'll all be OTC wallet to wallet trades with no sketchy, thievy ass humans in the middle, which there are way too many in the crypto world. All right. How many NFTs are included? I think it went to, I'd have to ask Brandon. I don't know what the number was. It was whoever bought by the end of November 6th, because Brandon extended it a day because he's a jackass. So it was It was whatever the number was. I don't know, it was 1188 or something like that, whatever that number was. And then what happens is we take whatever the revenue was for all of November, and that goes evenly distributed among those 1,100 and change NFTs, not among the whole 10,000, but among just the owners. They take half of everything that was generated. The rest we use to go buy tokens off of the dexes and bring them back to Node Market and relist them. So just to keep upward momentum. Let's see. As I said, if you sold the exchange, the NFT holders would be no. They wouldn't own equity, because you don't own equity. If you own bonds, you don't own the U.S. government. That's not how that works. If you own tokens, you get revenue share, and you get early access to tokens and things like that we would launch. The NFTs, if you're an accredited investor and you're a private client, can be traded for actual equity. If someone came and bought the exchange, which is unlikely because the exchange has been active for 6 weeks, but let's say 3 years from now it sold, they would still have to pay revenue to the NFT holders, because that is a necessary characteristic of the way we've built this. So that will not go away. There won't be any sunsetting of the NFT program. Whoever owns the NFTs, they've either traded it for equity or they get revenue share. That's it. And if someone was to buy the exchange, then they would have to buy that. They would have to buy that liability, or they'd have to start buying back NFTs to get as many of those things out of circulation as possible. And I'm sure for the right price, everybody would sell their NFTs. So there you go. But yeah, you can't just give people equity. It doesn't so much work that way. All right. Let's see. Can we go back to have a structure in the live shows with game theory like before? Questions are nice, but get a bit blind following certain tokens. I mean, the structure is whatever feels like it's the most important thing at each moment. So kind of the way we've done structure is the structure with the office hours is more education, very little market talk. With the shows, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday show, the structure is AI news, if it's interesting. Then we go behind the wall, we talk about markets, and we get into the nitty gritty of, you guys trying to manage your portfolios and keep balance. Let's see. With so many delegating towards hyperreaching hyperpools, does hypercycle remain sufficiently distributed? Yes, Ronald, I think you may be mistaking. It's like saying, with so many people delegating to mining pools in Bitcoin, is it still decentralized? Well, there's flavors of there's levels of decentralization. There's like it's not all or nothing, and so a distributed compute system, even if you go to one pool, if the pool is made up of 10,000 different machines, you're still a distributed system. Hyperpools doesn't have any kind of political power. They delegate to all of their resources to make money. So it's not, I mean, I think you may be mixing two kind of theologies. In the movie business, they say, if you write a movie, don't have too many kinds of magic because it gets confusing. Like, don't have a movie about sharks, about giant sharks, and also some voodoo people, and also aliens. It's too many kinds of magic. You might be mixing magic. Let's see. Well, Bitcoin, here's the thing, John, everybody has access to Node Market. Everybody on the planet can go to Node Market if they have a wallet, and they can start, look, so Hypercycle, there's a couple of sales that just happened. So you can say, okay, go to last sales. Let's just check. Let's see what happened. Okay, so someone sold for 95 cents. They just made a sale. Yay. Okay, great. So anybody can do that. Like, anybody can go, oh, let's look at the listings. Well, that one was gone. Let's go check out what's here. You can just go look at the listings. Okay, here's 20,000 tokens. 8 days left. It's at their price per token, $1, $1.01, $1. So You can go right down the list. You can find the one that works for you. Everybody can do that. There's no like anybody with a wallet. So when they kind of move their feet very slowly at Bitcoin IRA, and I know this because I have coffee. I see you almost every other day. I see, Chris and his daughter come in and we talk and all this kind of stuff. And they are very slow. They're very slow to get out of the gate. And I mean, there's a reason why look, in the entire crypto space, everybody's slow to get out of the gate. Look around. There's not too many projects like Hypercycle. There's not too many projects. Well, like what we're doing. Most of these exchanges get built and they sit in a testing environment for years, while people bang around, while people go look for investment money. It's just the way we decided to do it. And also like the way they do it at Hypercycle, they bootstrapped and said, we're going to build it. And if people want to participate, great, but we're building it anyway. And then the way we built Node Market is, since we are not custodying anything ever, that's a whole bunch of headaches that don't exist in our world. So we don't ever custody. And since it's just wallet to wallet transactions, that makes it a lot simpler. The fact that all of these transactions aren't done in OTC is really weird because institutional transactions are all OTC transactions. So when these guys at Bitcoin IRA say, well, I don't know if we can, man, unless there's a desk set up. Desk, nothing. If you have a fucking wallet, you can buy tokens. If you don't, you can't. If you don't have a wallet, you ain't crypto. And so you got to be careful. It's not like now this is not a Bitcoin IRA, but like in a Robinhood situation, a lot of people were buying tokens and Robinhood did not own them. They were so sure that they were basically trading against their clients. They were so sure that people were stupid that they would take in money and not actually have the tokens or the underlying securities because they thought this is how stupid people are. We'll effectively short the market naked by letting these idiots buy at $5 and sell them back at $1. We'll keep the spread having never owned the tokens. Just basically naked order books, the most ridiculous shit. The fact that the guys at Citadel and people at Robinhood aren't all like locked up for history is mind-boggling. They did just as dirty of crap. Well, they didn't do as much damage, but they did just as much dirty stuff as bank run fraud chicken. So, God. All right. Oh, damn. Okay. Let's see. Nick, you called it regarding Fed not going to raise rates for a while. The math says they shouldn't. All smoke and mirrors. Well, all the people that were saying that all of this stuff is transitory, like all of the supply and price shocks were transitory because of COVID funny money, they were right. In 2019, the world was heading into a recession, looked like, and that didn't change because of COVID. If you take the whole world and tell everyone, push pause, no one go to work for 6 months, and here we're going to pay you to sit at home and bang around on eBay and Amazon and Robinhood and Reddit. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, you're going to get weird perturbations. You're going to get weird peaks and valleys and a bunch of bullshitty, uneducated, gambly behavior because people got money, undeserved, not ill-gotten gains, but undeserved gains. And so they spent them. And a lot of people pilfered the system, including BlackRock. A lot of people hoovered up stimulus money. Big banks and insurance companies got almost $5 trillion to repatriate them from losses that they didn't sustain as a result of COVID. They got $5 trillion to cover their COVID losses, only they hadn't sustained COVID losses because COVID had just started. I don't know why no one else is bothered by that. It's okay that they stole. I mean, it's a straight thievery, dude. And banks are still failing. Like at a certain point, you have to go, fuck you, man. How are the banks still failing? How are regional provincial banks still failing when the banking system and insurance companies straight up stole $4.5 to $5 trillion in stimulus funds? Just hoovered it up with a big ass vacuum and they're still failing? Fuck you, man. Like that's where when a bank fails, I just giggle. Like you absolutely, every one of you ignorant idiots deserve it. Not you, like the bank people at a bank, the customers, but like the bankers. That shows you how flawed this banking and how scammy they are. Just look at oh God, look at the losses that these banks are taking. Look at the fines they pay each year, the billions in fines for pulling scams, the way they step on immigrants' necks. Did you know that the majority of the fees, those $35 fees that you get if you bounce a check, that they've targeted immigrants? So basically, people with like very like low bank accounts that they're struggling, they'll hit them with a check fee and then they'll hit them 5, 6, 7 more times, knowing they can't pay it back, knowing they can just take these fees. And so every now and then they get found guilty of basically just the most treasonous shit you can imagine. America was built on immigrants. So when you target them, like so many of these sketchy ass companies do, like JP Morgan, like, come on, man. So it's so scammy. And on the other side of it, you got to throw your hands up and say, who cares? Because that's just the way it is. You can't really get emotional about it. You just have to be honest with yourself. This is a scammy, co-opted system where the people at the top have incredibly perverse incentives to cheat and to legalize that cheating. And that's just the way it is. So we have to, on the outside of that, looking inward, we have to find a way to participate. Like, okay, that's the way it is. We're not going to change it. They have no desire to change it. So how do we participate? And so the crypto space and the AI space and where they merge is a good place to participate. I know that was a long answer to your observation, but you are correct. Let's see. Is there a layer 1 gaming coin? Is there a layer 1 that gaming coins would prefer to build on? I mean, who knows? I mean, the easiest thing to build on is still Ethereum because it's like dummy proof. Beyond that, you would look for, are there any layer 1s that are going out and courting gaming companies? Because if you're a gaming company, your focus is on gaming, not crypto. And so you're going to say, what's easiest? Well, what's easiest is Ethereum. What's broken? Ethereum. What's probably not going to scale? Ethereum. And if it does scale, it blows up all the layer 2s. So it's like, it's a very weird kind of vortex problem that I think would require or will require a lot of these layer 1s all coming together. So hopefully we're seeing this first sniff of that as Polkadot and Cardano come together, which makes sense, right? Philosophically, look, those are two of the kind of the 4 main original co-founders of Ethereum. So it makes sense that they are at least at some level philosophically aligned. And maybe with Polkadot working with Cardano, they're going to smoke less weed and do less of whatever colored pill they have every day. And Gavin will earn his doctor moniker. All right. Let's see. Let me see if I can nail any other questions with our AI news. Pokemon cards. Yeah, I remember. God. Let's see. I have the assets to be a accredited investor. Never had to use or prove it. Would it be to my advantage to disclose my financial situation? You don't have to disclose shit. But you do need to go through an interview. You have to attest to it. I mean, if you lie, that's on you. What we do with Digital Private Client, just so you guys know, it's for accredited investors and they get early access to stuff. Because whether you like it or not, that's the way the world works. If you're an accredited investor, then you get access to stuff that other people don't because the world is not super fair. But if you are, you do. And so we have an interview where you'll interview with Brandon and see if it's a good fit. And then you will attest on a DocuSign about 20 different times that you're accredited and you understand the risks of an accredited investor and being an educated investor and all that entails. So that later on, if you do something stupid, you can't be like, Nick told me to buy Jazzcoin and Jazzcoin didn't work out and now I'm mad or some crap like that. If you're an educated investor, you don't have those issues. You realize that investments are just that. It's It's a well-levied gamble based on the information. All right. That is that. Okay. Let's switch gears. I think I want to talk real quick. We'll go through the AI news, then we'll go behind the wall. So we'll do AI news for just a few momentitos, which there's some cool AI news. And then we will, let me see. Let me get my banners up. Let me get all my AI news banners up. We'll put like a cool little thing. Okay, in the AI news. Oh, my thing bigger. Okay, cool. In the AI news world, multimodal AI agents are excelling at everyone's favorite game, Minecraft. Well, not everyone's favorite game, but still kind of cool. Airbnb is also acquiring an AI startup for the paltry sum of 200 million. I'm curious if this is a startup that we're going to think is simply a button that they will add over at OpenAI onto GPT-5 or 4 Turbo or whatever. Anyway, so we shall begin. Multimodal AI agents excel at Minecraft tasks. I know that Ben Gortzel, when we interviewed him, gosh, when was that? 6 months ago? Anyway, we did that interview. He was talking about working with some people on Minecraft, on programming agents to go play Minecraft. Anyway, kind of cool. So researchers have developed an AI agent called, cool name, Jarvis 1, which can complete a wide variety of tasks. It can plan, it can improve while playing in Minecraft. For those of you who play Minecraft, or maybe your kids play Minecraft, whatever. Anyway, Jarvis 1 uses a multimodal language model. So remember, we're talking about LMMs, large multimodal models, to understand visual, textual, and symbolic information. The capabilities allow Jarvis to plan and act based on current game situations dynamically, and then they can improve their own behavior and their own move selection over time. The AI agent exceeded prior versions on over 200 different Minecraft tasks, especially complex, long horizon ones. So that right there is telling you it's starting to play an infinite game rather than a finite game. And it's looking at a long task as a chain of iterative tasks, like we talked about a little bit in game theory earlier this week. Jarvis achieved over 90% success on a variety of tasks and 12.5% on the very challenging diamond pickaxe task. I don't know what that is. If anybody here knows what the diamond pickaxe task is, please elucidate. Anyway, why would you care? Well, Jarvis 1 represents a lot of progress in building AI agents that can act in more complex environments. And it's going to be interesting to see which of these, little breakthroughs may translate to real world robotic problem solving. That's kind of cool. Yes. Okay. AI in Minecraft, kind of cool. We'll see. All right, Airbnb. So I've been talking to people about Airbnb. I recently read this story. I don't know if I told you guys this. There's a story that somebody was doing in LA, like month-long Airbnb. I guess you can do like longer term. I don't know if anybody here is like an Airbnb person. You do that, but you can do these longer rentals where people get your house for a longer period of time. And this person moved into this other person's place and they just stayed. And now it was like, it took 15 months for them to be bounced on out of there. And the dude's like, you owe me 60 grand. And the lady that was, it was a lady, I'm not being sexist, that was squatting, because it was squatting. She left in cuffs. She's like, you lied to me on some stuff or whatever. Anyway, what a damn nightmare. Anyway, so Airbnb, not because of this, but they've acquired a secretive AI startup by the name of Game Planner AI to accelerate the rental giant's AI initiatives. It marks the company's first acquisition since going public. Game Planner AI has been in stealth mode since 2020, which we all know is bullshit. They probably had like 2 people at a coffee shop talking about it in 2020. They launched 8 months ago when everybody just slapped the AI logo on it, Lipton Iced Tea AI. Anyway, And there's very little known about what the company actually does, which makes me think that what they does is not that interesting. But anyway, what we do know about this is that it was founded by Adam Cheyer, who previously launched Siri, later acquired by Apple. So, I mean, everybody here who likes Siri, this should be interesting. Oh crap, my phone turned on. I could do a Hey Siri bomb to everybody and just have and everybody's phones get all jacked. Anyway, the deal's valued at just under 200 million according to sources. So that's not a lot in AI terms. That's tiny. So who knows? Is it just going to be like an AI agent that helps you do stuff on Airbnb? I think it's a feature set. Most likely, this is going to be looked at as another mistaken purchase, where a lot of companies are fighting for AI products, and anything with AI looks juicy. If they have some cash and they want to satisfy their base, because if you think about Airbnb, you start to realize like how many tools. This is kind of like Uber. How many tools are out there? If you have a world of self-driving cars, do you need the company Uber? Like, couldn't Tesla just simply replace Uber with like an app? At a certain point, when self-driving, not now, but when self-driving cars are out there. So, I mean, just think about it. You don't need Uber. You don't need Airbnb. You don't need middlemen when you can just have middleware. These dudes are all going away, Airbnb included. They're all going away. You'll do it yourself, kind of like centralized exchanges. You don't need them. You can do OTC trades, wallet to wallet, period. All you need is on-ramps and off-ramps. And now there's even a thing. Have you guys seen like Coinbase? What is it called? Coinbase Commerce, where you can just buy stuff. It's now an option. When you go buy stuff, Coinbase Commerce is an option where you can just buy stuff directly from your crypto account. And yeah, exactly. You could send your car for food or have another car that's coming. You're going to think of the whole auto system as a big organism, just sending things over here and that. Just think of it as a cell and then many cells. Inside a cell, there's a whole like ecosystem going on with endoplasmic reticulum and all this kind of cool stuff going, and everything is just happening organically. And humans can't do that, which is why we have shitty companies like Airbnb and Uber and all these middlemen to steal from both sides that offer little or no value, or WeWork that just completely goes bankrupt, never having made a dollar and only making one person rich and everyone else $47 billion poorer. Well done, Adam. I guess you're the big winner, you and your creepy wife. But like, you look at a lot of these companies, you realize AI is going to obsolete all these dudes. So is this a good purchase by Airbnb? Probably buys them a few more quarters, but Airbnb's not been getting a lot of good press. So cool, I guess. When you're like, we're buying a secret AI. That's a bunch of bullshit. That's some crap you sell your investors or your senior note holder. Trust me, guys, stay on board. We bought a secret AI company by the guy who made the crappiest phone assistant on the planet. Oh, sweet. I'm going to get more money and give it to Airbnb. Why? Anyway, that's it. That's my thing. So cool, I guess. If you're an investor, maybe you hold on for another quarter or something like that. There's a bunch of hardware advances coming. So you have the H200, the H100. Oh, so NVIDIA has enhanced its AI computing platform with the H200. It's based on the Hopper architecture. It offers 141 gigabytes of memory, 4.8 terabytes per second speed. It outperforms the A100 quite a bit. NVIDIA stock is up 246% this year, which is, pretty good. And sales are expected to surge by 170% this quarter. Company is also developing a new handicapped set of GPUs for export to China. right? Which I'm sure that'll solve everything. NVIDIA's HGX, H20, L20, and L2 chips are specifically tailored to comply with U.S. trade restrictions and cater to the Chinese market, right? Because the Chinese can't build their own chips. They're just clueless, right? Because the Chinese they're so bad at technology, right? Look at the back of your phone. You think man, it's so silly. Anyway, it's all just like AI virtue signaling. Anyway, there's a bunch of US bans on the A100s and the H100s being sold to China due to military applications. Look, dude, these companies start other companies in other countries. They buy the chips, they put them on a boat, and they ship them to the countries. It's like, you're not solving anything. You're costing them one more set of delivery fees. All of this stuff is so stupid. Anyway, China right now accounts for 20 to 25% of NVIDIA's revenue. So yeah, well, it's not that the Chinese are good at stealing technology. Now they're the ones that build everything. Like, China used to mean, oh crap. Now China's like, oh, I don't trust. Listen, anybody here buy any clothes that say made in the USA? Would you buy a TV made in the USA? Of course not, because it'd be dog shit and it'd be really expensive. You don't buy America. Why? It's crap. Nothing made here is any good. It's like, that's what globalization did. It put technology in the places where you can get the most bang for your buck, the most tech for the dollar. Like, yeah, I would much rather, yeah, man, South Korea, they make really cool stuff. None of that stuff can be made here because of a variety of reasons we don't have time to talk about. Anyway, Chinese researchers have created an AI-powered robot chemist capable of generating oxygen from materials on Mars. That's good for Elon and his one-way trip. The robot's unique ability to synthesize catalysts using AI from local resources could aid in humans in their mission to Mars, according to a press release. Completing this study manually would have required 2,000 years. 2,000 years. Well, that took about a month and a half with the robots, with AI. So, man, people are going to have a real wake-up call. Well, maybe not. Okay. What's going on in the markets for AI? OpenAI suspended new subscriptions for GPT Plus. Sam Altman cites capacity constraints following a user surge, outages, and cyber attacks. Well, part of it is now that you can create artwork in there with DALL-E 3, it's so badass. I use it all the time. OpenAI is seeking further investment from Microsoft to advance its pursuit of artificial general intelligence, despite current unprofitability due to high training costs. Think about it. Business AI to AI should smell a lot like hypercycle to you or similar propositions. Probably going to be a lot of those kinds of things. Anyway, kind of cool. But Microsoft's not going to hit the brakes anytime soon. They're going to give them that cash. Andreessen Horowitz announced the funding of Civit AI, a generative AI content platform with rapidly growing user base of 3 million, created by Justin Meyer. It hosts a community for sharing and discovering AI-generated image models. That seems like another feature set that will just be a part of OpenAI. What a waste of money. Andreessen Horowitz used to do really smart things, A16Z. They do a lot of stupid things. They gave Adam Newman, the guy that bankrupted and walked away with $1.4 billion, the douchebag from WeWork, they gave him another $300 million. This is how dumb these guys are. Like, don't think that because people have been successful VCs in the past that they're going to be successful moving forward. These guys light money on fire like you haven't seen. Luckily, it's not their money. It's everyone else's money. So yeah, although it's not like they raised a lot of money. They raised like a paltry sum. Anyway, Apple's AI-powered Siri assistant could land as soon as WWDC 2024 and maybe standard on the new iPhone 16s, which they would announce next September. I didn't get a 15. I had the 14 and nothing that they showed looked at all interesting at all. Like, at all. But apparently on the 16s, AI will finally come to Apple. Great. I don't know if they can wait that long, is kind of where I would say they should get this out sooner than later, but they won't. They'll tie it to a new phone to make everybody spend another $2,000. Anyway, there's going to be what they think is a potential hardware upgrade because of the requirements, meaning older iPhones will not be able to function. Surprise, surprise, will not be able to function with this brand new software. Yay. Okay. That's it. That's it for the cool stuff. I mean, there's a lot of educational stuff, weather models that are doing a lot more, like a lot. Anyway, that's cool. Let's get behind the wall, and then we can have more of a money talk. And we're going to talk about, we're going to go into the educational side of tyranny of choice. Tyranny of choice. Yeah, I said it. So let's go over here. Let's go over here. Let's rock and roll and get behind the wall.
We're going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.